Stay there, dog. I forgot something.
Dirty mucky bugger.
I do look at the comments though.
Right, I've seen an error or two. Right, that lock can go down there. Good afternoon, world. Welcome to Friday, and it is Friday the 7th. Better not have that on there. I've been trying to get hold of my old man to find out if they've done the moisture test on the wheat, bearing in mind we've had a little bit of rain, and to see if we've actually got a go date, a go time to start combining. So, but as usual, he's got his phone turned off, so I can't get hold of him, and I can't get hold of Reg. So I've got to go to the post office and take a load of merchandise parcels, and I also need to go and pay a visit to the bank. So, yeah, got a delivery. So, obviously the delivery driver knows who I am because he just pointed and waved at me. That's always a bit unnerving when that happens. Anyway, we're off to Thornbury. Yeah, I'll put the aircon on, dog, it's hot. I've got a funny feeling the M5 southbound might be a bit stuffed up. We're sat on junction 14 of the M5 now, and we're at a complete crawl because it looks like people are trying to get off the M5 to get onto the A38 to carry on their journey southward. Problem is, it doesn't take long for the A38 to get stuffed up as well. But I don't know if I'm going to get across in this set of lights or not, because it is jammed solid. It's Friday, everybody's going to the safe coast. So, yep. Right, apparently our fountain has been repaired, so we're going to have a look. Well, there's no 40-foot column of water now, so it looks like they've done it. I wonder if the ground's dry enough I can get there. Well, it's certainly a lot quieter than it was. So there's a new thingy that probably replaces the old thingy. I don't know what that is. But yeah, the water was shooting out through that manhole there, and I presume that's the old valve around the back there. I think we'll have a wander around and look at that. Right, okay, someone's left his nuts and his gloves and his saw. Don't know if I really want that left in the hedge. I presume they're coming back, so I'll put that with that. That's not for cutting branches. More like a stone saw. Right, I think we'll wander around to the other side and have a look at it from over there. Go on up. You wait. That's it, you show the way. Well, that's where they unloaded at the min digger. At least I latched the gate this time. I'm assuming that is what failed. Or was it that? Or was it that? Which bit failed? Or was it that? I got a funny feeling that this is just a valve or something that I don't know quite what it is. There's a pipe. That's obviously the other end of the pipe down there. So is that to take a feed? And I'm presuming that big steel bar there is a tap. I don't know. I presume they're going to come back and reset that lot. But maybe wait a couple of weeks until we've got the corn off. Or a week, or I don't know. Probably a few days and most of that would dry up. We've only really lost this bit here, this corner. We'll see. Land agents on that job as well. I expect you to squeeze as much as you can at the waterboard, because that's what land agents are there for. Well, that's per normal. I'm over here. I might as well come over and take some sheep. We're up to speed on that. Looks like that problem's solved. They got a bit of tittle farting around just to tidy up to finish off. But no more water gushing all over our corn. Oh, the t-shirt, you noticed the t-shirt. There's a story behind the t-shirt. So the t-shirt, this was a gift, I'm assuming for my birthday, from a subscriber from, well, probably no prizes for guessing where she's from. So, from Angela. So, Angela, I promised you I would wear it, I promised it'd be on camera. So, here it is, it's job done. At the end of the day, if somebody sends me a present, I'll always appreciate it. And if someone sends me a present with their country's flag on it, I'll still wear it. Because at the end of the day, I'm a citizen of the world as well as the UK. Come on, you. In you go. Right, so the gates of the new barn were unlocked. I don't know why, so there's tracks in and out of here, including one that intrigues me. So is there something in there that I don't know about? Well, there's a few things in here that were different from last time, including a patch of oil, which I assume is off the cherry picker from when they came and wired in that motor. So I really want to put something on that, but hang on. There's some dust in there. Well, can't stay there long, but hopefully it'll soak some of that up. And it's obvious enough, isn't it? You can't miss it. So hopefully, before they put corn in here, someone will pick this up and take it back out again. Right, okay. So these are our fans, extractor fans. There will be 4 tubs. We've only got 2 motors, but the motors can be swapped around over the actual extractor tubes. I haven't heard them going myself, but apparently they're really loud. So hopefully they won't disturb the neighbours too much. Yeah, this chap sits on top of there, or actually on top of the pipe, and sucks air out. Hopefully reducing heat. Right, that's not supposed to be here. I was told that was going to be removed. Oh, it's like that, is it? Come on. Not that she needs any encouragement. I just noticed something that really ought to be dealt with. I don't think I've got the right tool here, unless I knock them off with a hammer. I don't want somebody crashing all of that and cutting their hand open. I wonder if I can knock them off with a hammer. Luckily, I carry my granny's old hammer. This hammer is probably older than me, but right, as long as that don't set the alarm off. Right, pick those bits up. I don't want them going rusted in there. Right, thank you, Granny's hammer. So following our clear TB test result yesterday, I thought I'd better bring some of you up to date with the state of play regarding Bramble. Many of you saying how happy you were that Bramble could now go back out into grass and can go back out to visit some ladies and stuff like that, and happy days and all that. Unfortunately, that's not the case. This year's results of TB have been pretty devastating for us, and in particular for him. How can I put this? So if you go down with TB, you don't have to have just one clear test to go clear. You have to have two. But apparently now, if you have had a history of TB, you actually now need 3 clear TB tests before we can actually open up free movement of animals on the farm. Which for Bramble means, strictly speaking, he is stuck here for at least another 120 days. Now, there are bits and bobs in the rule book and ways that he could possibly move. One of which would be to go to another farm that is under restriction. The problem with that is if he goes to a farm that is shut down with actual TB and they've got an issue, there's a chance that he might not be able to move again, even if he's clear. So bearing in mind that I don't own this bull, he's on hire, so the owner of the bull is getting absolutely no income from him at all. He came here for, well, 6-7 weeks to do a job. He was then supposed to go on for the 6-7 weeks that there was, and that's what a hired bull does. He goes off and has his merry way with lots of young ladies at various times of the year. But TB has locked him here, and he can't move. But now we have had a single clear test, we are still effectively shut down. We still can't move live animals off the farm. But he could go to another farm under restriction. So there is another local farmer that is under restriction because he had an inconclusive test result. So I'm given a few days for our results to get to Alpha, but I will ring Alpha next week and see if there's any way that he can be moved to another farm while they are under TB2 or under restrictions. Because if that's the case, if he can move there and they go clear in 30 days, because there's about 30 days to go for their second test, and if the cow that was inconclusive goes clear, as far as I'm aware, apart from him having a 30-day test, which he may not need, bearing in mind a 60-day test, he may not need, because he's just been tested, there is a chance that he could possibly be free of us by going to another farm that's temporarily restricted. If they get their restrictions lifted, he can then go back to his owner. So it's a chance, which we've got to just double check the rules and regulations on how this goes. There is a chance that Bramble might be able to leave here next week and go and have some happy time with some ladies elsewhere. That'll make life much easier for us because it means we no longer have to keep any livestock in the barn. It means I can clear out. I can actually muck the place out, sort the yards out, get everything done. So it'd be brilliant for us. But when I asked the vet, he wasn't sure where we stand with this. When I spoke to Alpha a while ago, they were vague. So what I'm going to do, I've spoken to the owner of the bull, Bramble's owner, and I've basically cleared it with him that if we can arrange it with Animal Health or Alpha to move him, he's going to move literally about 4.5 miles that way. So that's what we're going to do. So, so although I appreciated all your congratulations and well done, and we're really happy for you and everything else, yes, it is. We are a step closer to being unlocked. But we've got another 2 to go, which we must go clear. But there is a chance, and we will do our best, not just for the bull, but for ourselves as well. It's best for everybody if he can move off the farm, because unfortunately Bramble can't come back here. He'll probably never come back to the farm again, because as I mentioned before, all this year's calves are his, last year's calves are his, and the year before heifers or cows are also his. So due to interbreeding, he can't stay. So poor old Bramble, well timed mate, you had to do that just then. Poor old Bramble will hopefully leave the farm soon, if all the I's are dotted and the T's are crossed and Animal Health Alpha will allow us to do it. He can hopefully leave and have some happy days, because look at him. He's sitting here in a yard on dry food, looking at all the girls out there, and some of them smell really interesting, and he can't get to them. I mean, it's tight. Poor bugger. So, that's it. He's getting all horny now, so I'll leave him to it. But there you go. So that's the state of play. Yes, we've had a clear test. We are on our way to having the herd reopened again. We currently cannot move any bovine stock off the farm unless it's going direct to slaughter, apart from maybe to him if he goes to another farm that is closed down under restrictions. And it's got to be the same restrictions as us. It can't be a lower restriction. It's got to be the same as us. So I hope that makes sense. I hope I made it fairly clear. But this is what farmers have to put up with this disease. It's just all the aggravation and the paperwork and the, you know, him. This is who I feel sorry for. Because he can't do what he wants to do. Can you, mate? No. Yeah. I've been walking out in the field with the cows, haven't I? Just don't try and make my shoe, alright? If you come a bit nearer, you can have a scratch. Come on then. Look, it's your shoulder you like scratch, not your head. Just come a bit nearer, because I'm standing in stinging nettles here, mate. Come on. That's what he really wants. No, it's not actually. I know what he really wants. He can't have it. Don't worry, Bramble, we'll do the best we can for you. Do you know what? I've got my hand up. No, nothing naughty. But on top of the transfer box of Donkey. And I think the linkage is broken. I don't think I can get the camera in there to show you because there's not enough room. But one or two folks said, oh, could be just the linkage broken. And you know what? I'm pretty sure that's what it is. So maybe Donkey is going to be a quicker fix than I first thought. Ow! It was my knee. Yeah. Good hole. Right, we didn't see that, right? You're not due MOT for a while. No hole there, it was a figment of your imagination. Right, okay. That is actually potentially really, really good news, because instead of £1,000 for a transfer box, it's probably 25 quid for a rod. In fact, maybe even the rod can be repaired. I should put my overalls on for doing stuff like that, but no, I was just walking up there after talking about Bramble, and I looked at the Land Rover and I thought, it's not wet. It's not that dirty. This shirt's going in the wash tonight anyway. I'll stick my hand up there and have a look. I mean, come on, I'm a farmer. We stick our hands in all sorts of places. Right, okay, so we'll have a little wander down, look at the cows, literally just to fill up a bit of time. I've noticed in the comments, by the way, things like how many adverts and is there enough adverts and whatever else. I had an email from YouTube or Google a couple of weeks ago, and I think it was as of the end of July or something else. What do they call it? It was something to do about advertising and stuff on the channel, because up until before I think it was end of June, if your video was less than 10 minutes long, they didn't do much sort of in the middle advertising. But YouTube changed that to 8 minutes. So does that mean that they're going to put adverts the equivalent of every 8 minutes? So apparently this is for our benefit, for the creators' benefit, so that we can earn more revenue from you guys watching adverts. I don't know if I can change that. I'll have a look, because the one video I did a while ago, it was 50 minutes. There was 13 adverts in there. And I think that's taking the P155 a bit. So I'm going to go, well, I've already had a look in my settings on my tablet. I couldn't find it in there. I'll have a look in my settings on my PC. But I kind of see if I'm going to set it back to the way it was, because I don't want loads and loads of ads, because it's going to put people off. All right, I know it's not just my channel, it's going to be everybody's channel. But is that going to encourage us creators then to go, well, I'll just make shorter videos so you can't fill them up with adverts? Because if you're going to put one every 8 minutes, I'm not sure if that's right, don't quote me on that, If you're going to do an every 8 minutes, I'm going to make my videos 15 minutes long, so you've only got room for one. Do you know what I'm trying to say? So maybe I sort of say, well, I've got an hour's worth of video, but I'll split it into 4. I'll just make it 1, 2, 3, 4, and cut the adverts down. So, not that I begrudge getting a bit of advertising revenue, no, because it helps the farm. It all goes back into the farm account, but 13? Yeah, I agree with some of your comments. It's too much. So, we'll see if we can actually work out what that all means, how, if I can work around it. But it might mean that if I can't adjust it, it might mean that I might just do shorter videos, but I might just sort of upload 2 at a time to run consecutive, or 2 or 3 at a time to run consecutively, which some of you might think is a ball ache because you're still going to have too many adverts. But if there's a way of cutting down on them, maybe it's an option. I don't go on YouTube to watch adverts. Right then, boys and girls. So before they went in for TB testing, they had that little paddock there, and then this one here, which we kept this deliberately so that we could keep them just a little bit hungry, and I knew I could get them in for a bale. When they had their TB test, we put them into the middle paddock, which I reckon they should have enough out there for tonight, because we need to get them back in again once my ear tags, I still haven't got my ear tags, haven't arrived yet, because we actually put, was it that tag there? No, that's not that tag there. Yeah, it was that tag there. That tag there should have gone in the red cow, but because I put it in the wrong cow, I don't know if I can get it out without destroying it. So we're probably just going to cut the tag out to cut down the stress on the cow. So yeah, we've got to get them in. I've got to take a tag out of one, put the right tag in it, and then re-tag another one. Because you've got to have your right earrings, haven't you? The other reason for getting them in is it you? This steer here, luckily he doesn't understand English, is our next beef pack. Not something I particularly enjoy looking at, saying and knowing that he's the one that's going next. But we've got garlic buckets to go out for the cattle. But the problem with a garlic bucket is, I think it's 28 days withdrawal on the meat. So I can't put the bucket out while he is running with the cows. So I need to separate him. So it's loads to do. So next week the idea is try and get him booked in for the slaughter and for the beef packs. Ear tags. Basically all of these sorted out. They've all had their jabs. They've got this piece of grass, another piece of grass at the bottom to go on to, which will keep them going for a couple of days. And then next week they can all go back out there again. All this heavy breathing. It is muggy mind. Very muggy. Oh yeah, the other thing we want to do is get them back in. We want to put some pour on them. Again, he can't have any because there's withdrawal on that as well. So yeah, stuff to do. So they've had the jabs, they need the pour on, need the tags sorted out, need them separated up so I can give the rest of the animals garlic buckets, which will hopefully help keep the flies off of them. I should script this, shouldn't I? If I scripted it, I wouldn't be jumping backwards and forwards all over the place and then making a ghoulie of it, would I? So they've still actually got quite a bite out here in places. Strange how they'll mow tight some bits, but when you look at it, you think that that grass there, what's the difference between that grass there and that grass there? Because I can't see any difference at all. There's no muck on it, there's no... just looks the same. It must just taste. I mean, is this the site of old cow pats? And it's a bit sour or something? Don't know. Right. Well, they're happy anyway, because at the moment, again, we're allowing them to come in and out of the barn, because on this particular piece of ground there is no shelter from the sun during the day or in the afternoon. So when it gets hot, they end up in the barn. They need shelter and they need water. They got both there. Stop it. That's the difference between this year's and last year's calf. So the ones that have done well have done well. It's just that a couple, 63 and I think 65 at the back there, are just lagging behind. But we got a funny feeling we think that's down to Mum, not the calf. We think Mum had deficiencies and she didn't pass anything on. So. Move, 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 move. Thank you. All right, calm down. So once we've got the cattle out, hopefully by that time we'll have harvest finished. Hopefully we'll have silage finished. And then if we can, we'll start on the project of, got some trenching to do and some pipe work and drainage to do. I don't think we're going to get anywhere near concrete in yards this year. I think that's going to be next year. So for this year, it's going to be basically put a bit more drainage in, stone up the yards for this year, and hopefully touch wood, maybe concrete next year. Rome weren't built in a day.